The Baphomet is not a devil, but a symbol of divine wisdom, the perfect equilibrium of opposites. Elphias Levi. So, what is up, you guys? Welcome, Darklings, Lightlings, Hybrids, and everyone in between. How are y'all? I hope you're well. Today, I am going to do the video of Baphomet. I posted in the community tab. You guys voted, and Baphomet got the lead. Kali got the second lead, which I'm going to be updating you guys anyway on my path working now that I am doing with Kali, and it's really interesting. It's been quite intense and very enlightening. Kali is so extremely powerful. But, okay, I'll save that for the other video. Baphomet is one of the most mysterious figures as far as origins go, because it has its roots in the Knights Templar back in the crusades era. And when the Knights Templar were charged with heresy and they were being tortured and questioned, a few of them mentioned the name Baphomet. That left King Philip and a lot of the others to speculate on who and what this Baphomet character was. They believed it was a pagan god and that they did pagan rituals and sacrifices to this figure, and Baphomet became associated with evil. Years after the fall of the Templar, we have the occultist Elphias Levi. I actually did a documentary about him. He was an excellent occultist. I'll leave that link in the description if you want to check it out. But I highly recommend looking into him and his work. It's great. I'm a huge fan. But years later, Levi had created this vision, this image of the perfect balance of everything, a symbol of a lot of wisdom, and that image was the depiction of Baphomet that we know today. So what I am going to do is I am going to talk to you a little bit about the way I interpret the Baphomet and how I had worked with that energy a little bit. Because to me, Baphomet isn't so much as a true deity, but a symbol or a key, a guidance to enlightenment, if you will. And it goes hand in hand with a lot of hermetic stuff. It goes hand in hand with a lot of deep occult knowledges like the Kabbalah. A lot of other things very similar. You can connect the dots once you can break down the symbol of Baphomet. And my whole work and interpretations and going through all of this was going on during my path working with Lucifer quite a few years ago. And that was a major changing moment for me. That was when I quit seeing a lot of things so one-sided, including my path and practice. I was heavily on left-hand path, you know, and I had this idea of what my practice was and even who I was in some ways. And the Baphomet symbol in my path working with Lucifer actually helped me kill off these limiting beliefs and ideas that I had, and helped me truly unify a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. And that's what led me to pretty much not label what I do, what I practice, or what I work with on my path, but to embrace it, to embrace all of it and unify it within me, within what I do in my occult practice. So we're going to start off with the goat's head on the symbol of Baphomet. So the goat's head symbolizes the animalistic primal nature of the human being. The lower self is usually what we call that, and it's represented in the head and not the lower area, because remember, Baphomet is a symbol of balance of all things. So this is representing and also being attached to the torch that the higher self and the lower self has aligned. So this character, the symbol, has achieved that. You can call it Christ consciousness, you can call it ascent, you can call it the Kundalini awakening. You can call it many, many things. We have many labels, or we have many titles for what this is. So it's symbolizing the alignment of the higher and the lower self. And when this happens, the torch lights for enlightenment. The masculine torso with the female breasts is the alchemical union of knowing divine energy transcends, it goes beyond gender. And ultimately, the energies of everything is one, right? The hands, one is up, one is down, and you have the 2-finger salute. Everything is a mirror, and you are a mirror for everything else. As above, so below. This is how I commonly hear it depicted, but it can go so much more deeper than that. When you look into mudras, right, and directing energies, and what a 2-finger salute could mean, representing vital force, as above, so below, and the elements. Hand points to a lighter moon. The other hand points to a darker moon at the bottom. This represents duality. Everything that happens in spirit happens here. Everything, and vice versa. I'm sure you are all very much aware of the saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. Big, big thing in like Hermetic beliefs. Notice how everything on the sides of Baphomet's body has 2, right? You have the 2 horns, 2 ears, 2 wings, 2 legs, 2 hands, 2, yeah. So this too is a representation of duality, because notice how everything in the middle of Baphomet's body is in balance or alignment, perfect alignment. Again, that is telling us that it is the perfect balance between all things. And if you want to take it a step further and get even deeper, look at the body in astrology, look at different representations or interpretations of what the different body parts can mean. I mean, you can go really, really deep with this, guys. So ultimately, the entire symbol of Baphomet is pointing to ultimate unity. The pinnacle on his forehead can be an elemental reference, because it is the elements in which makes matter. But this means spirit above matter. That your spirit is in charge. Your spirit is driving your body, your avatar, forward in your path. It isn't the other way around. It isn't your lower self in charge. It isn't your lower self making the choices or dictating the path you're walking. It's you, your spirit, your higher self. The solve in the coagula means deconstructing and reconstructing. We talk a lot, especially on the left-hand path, about deprogramming, deconstructing, like a lot of things about self-deification. All of these things kind of tie into these words. Alchemy, transmutation, through transformation. Only if duality is balanced can we truly transform. It's about taking down all of these learned things, these beliefs, ideas, and completely ripping apart who you were and becoming whole and anew spiritually. Typically, when I did my path workings with daemons, this is my ultimate goal. I want to see through each path working what it is through me that we can destroy and make whole and anew again. Different parts of me as I work with these different daemons, correct? So only when we unify duality can we truly transform. Sometimes Baphomet has a phallus, but Levi created it with a caduceus symbol, with the 2 serpents intertwining. Notice he put it at the lower chakras. Again, the root chakra. This is another reference to raising our consciousness, and through the balance of the higher and lower self, ascent. It also means harmony of two energies coming together to raise this consciousness. So here's where we kind of get into like some Kundalini awakening type of things, if that is what you want to call it, or the union of sex, energy, and magic giving birth to new spirit, new enlightenments. So Baphomet's wings not only is another symbol of duality, but they're also a symbol of his spirit, the ability to go between worlds or to transcend this world of matter and reach other realms. If you have a good understanding of the Kabbalah, then you kind of know what I mean or where I'm going with this. Levi, I believe, was trying to give people an understanding of great occult wisdom all in one image, and I feel like he really pulled that off. Like, he nailed it. The Baphomet is a deeply, deeply amazing depiction of occult hidden knowledge. Also, that spiritually a goat can mean or be a totem for rising to the top, to success, vitality, sensuality, and determination. The Baphomet symbolizes a key of union to wake up our black flame and the God within us all. Union of all things dualistic. Really, a union of all things. Baphomet opened up a lot for me in my practice. It let me know that I didn't only need to be one thing. Left-hand path, Norse, practitioner, New Age, or Christian witch. It really doesn't matter, because our true power within us all is unifying everything and becoming whole and waking up that power of being whole. Baphomet has been talked about a lot modernly, almost like a deity or a thought form, if you will. And some say that Baphomet was even a secret coded word for Sophia, which means wisdom, but Sophia was also a goddess that was way more powerful than Yahweh or the demiurge or whatever you want to call it. Thought form of an idea for working with Baphomet or a goddess, or if it's just a symbol for wisdom. Working with this energy or this key or symbol can be beneficial and so powerful if you choose to look deep within, even if only reminding you that unifying all is when beauty and magic happens, when enlightenment or achieving your godlike self or ascent happens. So we could learn a lot through working with this energy, studying it, what have you. In my opinion, I've seen a lot of different interpretations, or in my opinion, misconceptions of Baphomet. It is not an evil symbol. Baphomet is not a demon to me. Baphomet is an energy of enlightenment. Now, do I feel like a lot of people working with it, like a true energy, can give birth to like a thought form of this? I absolutely do. And hey, I ain't hating on that. We all create thought forms in these energies that we can work with. There is even theories out there that a lot of the deities we work with are this. Do I believe that? No. But it is all really interesting to contemplate and think about. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Lucifer, I gotta tell you, really is that torchbearer, that wisdom keeper. That's why I've always said, like, even Odin reminds me of Lucifer, Enki, Thoth. And I heavily feel like these are the same energies, and there are different depictions of the same energy. But when doing this path working with Lucifer, it's when I really, really discovered the true meaning for me of what Baphomet was. And there's so much to know, so much to know, and it's really exciting. Lucifer really taught me that one-sided beliefs is the root to all dogma, but you can find truth in a bit of everything around you, even through the lies. You know, Carla at Miss Kulala's Mystical Musings, if you watched her a lot, you'll know that she's always saying that she doesn't believe in one religion being the truth or one belief being the truth, but she finds truth in all beliefs. That is a very, very wise and powerful statement, one that I didn't realize until I had worked with Lucifer. And that's when Baphomet really became a huge symbol for me in my practice. I don't think I fully understood that. I was heavily, like I said, one-sided, left-hand path. I had an idea of my practice that I feel like was very limiting, though I still consider myself, you know, if I had to choose a label, a Norse left-hand path practitioner. Truly, I am a abundance of all things like spiritual or occult wise. I can now unify, pulling together all these truths for me and create, in a way, my own symbol of Baphomet. And I think that would be interesting. I might do that, maybe channel my own version of Baphomet. But yeah, so explore. Never be afraid to explore. Never be afraid to push the limits. Don't settle with just one belief. Don't settle. That's my best advice as a practitioner or a witch to others, is don't settle in one limiting belief, one limiting thought. Push your limits, see what's out there, find your truths. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching and listening. I do hope you enjoyed this.